Parents who were dead set on never having kids before they met the one, did it end up being a good decision, or do you regret it? Great decision. My kid's wildly interesting. Never really wanted a kid. Got married. She wanted a kid. I was bored enough to tolerate one. We had one. Took fertility treatments and everything. Ended up costing money just to get her pregnant. Frowning, but he's the perfect mixture of the both of us, and he's incredible. And I can actually give him a solid childhood, which neither of us had. Zero regrets about it. What profession tends to attract the rudest people? Fashion is full of horrendous people. Sales. Any kind of sales. I watched one of my friends transform from a fairly likable dude into a monster, and then back to a fairly likable dude as he transitioned both into and out of a sales role over several years. It was wild. Corrections officers. TSA workers. Surgeons. I can't tell sometimes if nurses start that way or just end up that way from dealing with so much literal and figurative stick. DMV employees. It's a long-standing trope that the DMV is the worst place on earth, and for good reason. This made me realize that people are just dummies in general, regardless of what professions they are part of. Highway patrol. I have met way too many on some kind of power trip, even off duty. Marketing had a lot of jerks who think they are geniuses, but really you're just making ads for diapers. This question gets asked every few weeks, and the number one answer is always the same. POLITICS. Cooks la mau, if you know, you know. I'm a sailor, and there's a very specific type of guy who gets stuck at mate and can't get a captaincy because nobody respects him personally. So he takes it out on us deckhands who respect his rank but not him. Who's the best sitcom character ever? Art Vandelay. The architect or the importer/exporter? The marine biologist, obviously. I came here thinking if George Costanza isn't the top comment, I'm done, and I'm thankful your comment far surpassed my dreams rolling. Why couldn't you tell her I was an architect? You know I have always wanted to pretend to be an architect. The sea was angry that day, my friends, and you wanted to be my latex salesman. Asterisk can't stand ya. Agreed. In fact, I'm so impressed I'm going to make a donation to the Human Fund in your name. I heard he wanted to concentrate only on importing. Literally same thought before I opened this thread. Do you, his friend, H.E. Pennepacker, the famous industrialist, philanthropist, and bicyclist? The jerk store called and they are running out of you. I was in the pool. The judge. Matches. Big, long matches. I mean Cartwright. And you want to be my latex salesman. Art Vanderlei, friend of Dr. Van Nostrand. What's the difference? You're their all-time best seller. Popped in here just to make sure Costanza was #1. And I mean, he is, but this is a better way to express it. He sort of gets stuck in your head. Musical Costanza musical. These pretzels are making me thirsty. Cartwright. The judge. Remember sexy George portrait. Pays. Latex salesman. I came here to say Costanza saw the top comment and thought even better. Are you having an affair? Yet. This is the answer. My eyes. Remember the nip Christmas card. First thing to pop in my head for sure. I was going to say Georgie. Great minds think alike. My receipts. Captain Raymond Holt. Eyes no one having a good time. I specifically requested it. Oh. Vindication. Roger that wet blanket. No, from now on call me Velvet, Thunder, Boone. Holt and Kevin are my fave couple. Look, Raymond, a yellow-crested warbler. You're not cheddar. You're just some common glitch. I think you mean Dr. Kevin Cosser. Wingpud. Lunch is dead. Bagel. Ron Swanson. Give me all the bacon and eggs that you have. Wait. I'm worried what you just heard was give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs that you have. Do you understand? Nurse, are you allergic to anything? Ron, cowardice, and weak-willed men. And hazelnuts. Any history of mental illness in your family? Yes, I have an uncle that does yoga. Still cracks me up this one. There's only one thing I hate more than lying, skim milk. Which is water, that's lying about being milk. Oh man, Gene Ralphio as well. I thought he was the musical Notes Wars musical. Any dog under 50 pounds is a cat and cats are pointless. I know what I'm about, son. Andy, they got this burrito called the Meat Tornado, and it's filled with. Ron, son, you had me at Meat Tornado. There's been a mistake. You accidentally gave me the food that my food eats. George Costanza. Agreed. He was also the only one who didn't win an Emmy thinking. Kramer won all the Emmys, but IMO George was the character that made the show work and was constantly driving the plot. Gave Seinfeld an Emmy for acting but not Costanza. Musical Costanza musical. Can't stand ya. I opened this ready to say George. I was going to say him or Kramer. Draw him like one of your French girls. Believe it or not, George wins this award. End of discussion. Frank Reynolds. They asked who's the best, not the sexiest. When I die, just throw me in the trash. He just wants to be pure. Dr. Mantis Toboggan. Lol, I was going to say Dennis Reynolds. Bovine Joni. So anyway, I started blasting. Cats, cats, cats. I'll tell you what to do about cats. Back in Nem, in the sweatshop. If we found a cat, we'd toss it right into the soup. Those hungry bastards ate cat soup every day. What's the worst that could happen? A little kid chokes on a hairball and dies. So we'd toss them in the soup. I was making money hand over foot. Literally. Somebody lost a hand or a foot. We put it in the soup. I'm sorry, do you mean Algo Gablogen? I mean Dr. Mantis Toboggan. I did all the poops. I even did one just now while you were talking. What? Why would you do that? Because poop is funny. I'm the trash man. Eat me, bang me, fill me up with cream. You're dead, you're dead. I throw trash all over the ring. Niles from Fraser. Basically stole the entire show. Every scene he was in, he was the star. I feel like some scenes, you can tell even Frasier himself knew lol. Fraser was the big name that got us to tune in. Niles got us to keep watching. When he dressed up as Jesus, while Frasier was hosting his Jewish GF and her devout mother. And they trying to bring Frasier back without Niles? Ain't happening. Ed. No Niles. No Martin. No Daphne. I think it's Roz occasionally. I have seen a few people say, well, no one knew Frasier would do well because it was a spin-off from Cheers. But this is a reboot of a spin-off and missing characters from the original spin-off. I don't see it doing well. But hey, if it does, I'll eat my hat. This scene is up there with Lucy at the candy factory. https://vimeo.com/6,348,229. I heard about that. Absolute blasphemy. Knew what that was without clicking. That scene alone should have gotten him an Emmy. Have you ever had an unspoken thought? And I'm having one now. Amazing clip. But for my money, Ham Brady-wise his Hall of Fame performance. Dwight Schrute. Honorable mentions would be Ron Swanson and Leslie Knope. The conviction Rain had to that character is really just unmatched as far as I'm concerned. Plus, Dwight was convicted to Bears, Beats, and Battlestar Galactica. There was no Rain. Security in this office park is a joke. Last year I came to work with my spud gun in a duffel bag. I sat at my desk all day with a rifle that shoots potatoes at 60 pounds per square inch. Can you imagine if I was deranged? For characters with more minimal roles, Creed is the man. I've been involved in a number of cults both as a leader and a follower. You have more fun as a follower, but you make more money as a leader. In Jenna Fisher's book, she talked about her audition with Rainn Wilson and how he got in her face breathing funny and going on a completely ad-libbed rant about how he could defend himself from a knife attack. Bears, Beats, Battlestar Galactica. Was Mitchell for me. Dwight Fart Schrute. Ike about the best, but personally I love a bed from Community. Cool. Jake Peralta says that too. Was great in the morning. Streets ahead. And in morning. Bed is a great pick, but the Dean is my favorite character from the show personally. 6 seasons and a movie. I wish Abed was Batman. Have you seen him in the Apple TV show Mystic Quest? He's pretty good in that too. Asterisk Mythic Quest. Dr. Cox. Dr. Cox. Explaining he doesn't care it's JD last week of residency. I suppose I could riff a list of things that I care as little about as our last week. Let's see. Low-carb diets, Michael Moore, the Republican National Convention, Kabbalah and all Kabbalah-related products, high-def TV, the Bush daughters, wireless hotspots, the OC, the UN, recycling, getting punked, Danny Gans, the Latin Grammys, the real Grammys, Jeff that Whittle that sleeps too darn much, the Yankees, payroll, all the red states, all the blue states, every hybrid car, every talk show, everything on the planet, everything in the solar system, everything that exists past, present, and future in discovered and undiscovered dimensions. Turns away, then turns back, Dr. Cox. Oh, and Hugh Jackman. J.D. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. How dare he? And yet he later said, Dr. Cox, for the record, he was the best that ever came through this dump. John Dorian was the first and only doctor I ever met who cared as much as I do. And you can forget about him being just an exceptional physician, because the fact of the matter is, he's a damn exceptional person. It's why people gravitated to him. It's why I did. He was my friend. J.D. follow-up after the hub was great too. You smell like a father figure. God, I love that show. Dr. Reed, Dr. Cox, does this lipstick make me look like a clown? Dr. Cox, no, Barbie. No, it makes you look like a prostitute that caters exclusively to clowns. It's your hair, your nose, your chinless face. You always need a hug. Not to mention all the manly appletinis that you chug. That you think I am your mentor just continues to perplex. And oh my God, stop telling me when you have nerdy sex. Musical. That rant was so 2004, and I love every bit of it. Aw, damn. I missed the annual sleepover, didn't I? That wonderful time of the year, when you two crazy kids throw all caution to the wind and make sweet, elbowy love to each other. Don't you be shy. You can tell Uncle Coxie about the naughty. Such a great three-dimensional character. You feel everything he feels, all the pain, all his love for JD, his exasperation at the system, and how all he wants to do sometimes is just sit down and watch the game with a cold one. Dr. Cox, best ranter. Shut your cake-hole, Maribeth, or I swear to God I'll shut it soon. Dr. Cox. I miss John C. McKinley and really wish he had been in more post-scrubs. He's hilarious. Charlie Kelly. He's probably the best person in that group, though. He's a terrible person, but is very easily the best comedy character of all time. It's Sweet D to me. Kaitlin Olson is an incredible actor. Shut up, Burr. You spelled Trundle wrong. Wild card glitch ease. He's like the only one of the gang who shows empathy and does try to do the right thing a lot. I'm not saying he's perfect, but saying he's a terrible person is not the correct description of him. Oh yeah, He was going by Trundle back then. Point of Always Sunny is that they are all terrible people. Sometimes when I close my eyes at night I can hear him screaming, Carol, Carol. It's a bluff. I love all my children equally. Earlier that day, I don't care for Gob. Did you enjoy your dinner, Mom? You drank it fast enough. You want your belt to buckle, not your chair. I mean, it's one banana. What could it cost? $10. Here is $5. Go see a Star War. Get rid of the C word. I'll leave when I'm good and ready. Get me a vodka rocks, Mom. It's breakfast. I don't understand the question and won't respond to it. Vodka tonic. Vodka tonic. Good for her. Lucille. Asterisk wins drinking competition. Asterisk I've had enough. I need to get back to rehab. She's in rehab. And best of Lucille Bluff / YouTube /0EWTLVW4I. A man of culture. This is one of my all-time favorite sitcom scenes. Makes me cackle every time. Michael Scott. No, oh God. No, God, please, no. 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 He is a brilliant character because half the audience is laughing with him and the other half at him. I wish this sub allowed GIFs. It's Brittany Glitch. I declare. Bankruptcy. That's what she said. I'm astonished this isn't the top comment. Michael and Dwight and their dynamic was the beating heart of that show. Wait, there are people who laugh with him. Super hands. Because people like Coldplay and voted for the Nazis, you can't trust people. Capt Ease Accord. Crack, it's very Moorish. Why the hell did I have to scroll so long to see this? People ain't got no culture. The secret ingredient is crime. What we need to do is create an overwhelming sense of dread. The longer the note, the more dread. The bad thing